This is Jack White with the Capital District Growth Team and another Monday morning message, this one for Monday, June the 22nd, 2009. And this is a first. We're having an interview today with two Kiwanis leaders, both of them from the Dover, Delaware Club. Alan Kujala, are you there?
Yes.
Kujala, excuse me. Are you there?
Yes.
And Kenneth Hogan is the president of that club. Are you there, Kenneth?
Yes.
And Alan is a member of the Dover, Delaware Club, but he's also the lieutenant governor of Division 11 this year. And Dover, I guess most people know, is going to be the host to our Capital District Convention coming up in August of this year, so they've got their hands full. This time, though, we're going to talk about some growth efforts that the Dover Club engaged in last Kiwanis year, and one they're getting ready to start this year. And I want to first remind people that last year we made quite to do and issued a little recording disc with recordings and so on about the growth efforts of the club in Grundy in my area of Southwest Virginia. Brief refresher, Grundy followed the Kiwanis International book on growth. And they spent 3 months planning for what they called a membership night. They had 20-some people that they had invited show up. And from those 24 or 5 people, 17 joined, and they picked up 17 new members essentially from one night of activity, plus a lead-up to it. Now, you tried something quite different last year, Alan, in your club, and I understand it involved a challenge. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Tell us exactly what happened.
Sure. During the installation of the new president, Ron Smith, last year, he stood up to give a speech about and thanking the membership for his election. And as part of that speech, he challenged the club members to get to 49 members. We were 36 at the time. If we got to 49, his wife, Alice Smith, would join the club. And
so that's 49. That'd be 13 up from 36, and that would be 50% growth. Is that correct?
That's correct.
No, a third growth.
A third, yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, and it was an individual challenge, and all the members worked very hard to achieve the 49. I don't believe anyone expected it. Certainly, Alice Smith didn't expect that she'd be drafted into the club with her husband. But by the time we got through about half the year, we had achieved the 49 members, and his wife, and actually another member. We actually got up to 51 last year.
So, if I understand you correctly, except for the challenge being issued, there was no organized growth effort. Is that correct? Each person just undertook it upon themselves to go out and find new members. Is that it?
That's what they did. They just wanted to bring Alice into the club. She'd obviously been a fixture for a number of years, always participated in our events and parties, but this brought her into the club. Yeah.
But my point is that the members individually did it, and unlike the Grundy situation where they had a highly organized membership night with a program and people had been invited to it and all, this is a one-on-one effort, and I think that's pretty amazing, if that's correct. All right, so you got up to 49, and then she made 50, and is that where you are today?
We're actually right today 51 because we just added a member last month.
Okay, so you're going upward. Now, Kenneth, you're the president, or Ken. I understand you have some plans to take what was done last year and grow upon it. And it involves a challenge, too. Tell us what that is.
Yes, when we started the year, the goal was to be the biggest club in the district. But then the membership committee worked together, and they came up with a proposal. And what they've done is they have actually challenged the club to reach 75 on our 75th anniversary, which will be January next year.
75 by 75, huh?
75 by 75. And they split the membership into 4 groups. They've developed a system of counting points and calculation stuff, and then we're going to have a contest to get up to 75. And then the winning group, who does the best job in getting us there, is going to wind up getting a steak dinner at a Kiwanis meeting one night. And all the other members who were not members of the winning group are going to be eating hot dogs and hot dogs.
Well, that's fitting, I think. So these are four groups, four teams, roughly 12, 13 members each, if it's even. And they're just going to compete with each other and see who can get the most new members. Is that your game plan?
Yeah, that's the game plan. Membership counts for something. Getting people there as potential members counts, and then at the end of the time period in January, we'll determine a winner. And we hope to be at 75 by then.
Well, that would be fantastic. And of course, if my math is correct, growing from roughly 50 to 75 would mean a 50% growth.
Yes,
and
it would.
If you go back to the beginning of last year, 37, 6 or 7, 75 would mean more than 100% growth over 2 years. That's pretty spectacular. You realize what you're doing, don't you?
Yes. And if you go back a little bit further, when I joined about 6 years ago, we were only 25 people, so it's made some major changes.
Well, this will be a tripling of the club in 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm. We're working on it.
Do the members seem to be pretty well enthused and behind this effort?
I would think so. And again, we don't have organized activities and concerns that each group works as a group and tries to do things. Each of them are doing it individually, and people are inviting new members. We're inviting people. We're inviting potential members, and we're working on getting it. And I think a lot of people will be working real hard for this year.
Well, that's phenomenal. That's good leadership, both of you. Let me ask one other question. Since you don't, the membership night type, or they used to call these things roundups, you try to get everybody there at one time to a special program when you tout Kiwanis, and you have speakers and maybe a slideshows or PowerPoints or whatever. Your people, the guests you bring in are coming in at random.
That's correct.
Last year is throughout the whole year, and this will be between now and January when you have your 75th anniversary. What mechanism do you have in place within the club? So if I'm a member and I come in with a guest who is a potential member, how are they taken care of and treated, and what materials do you have for them, and the membership application form and all that? How's that handled?
Well, what we have is we created these cards that we give out to prospective members, and it's entitled. We have a little card that we give out to them, which entitles them to one free dinner. And that's how we. And so when they provide that gets them the free dinner. And then the member who invites them usually is providing materials for them, talking to them about them, and we always try to get them an application that night and talk a little bit about the club. But it's more of a case that they come and see what's going on, and it's friendship with the people that are getting invited, who invite them, and just seeing how we work as a club and what we do.
And so somebody there, though, do you have a little sticker or something, a name tag for them when they come?
No, they're always introduced.
Introduce them
We
first.
actually have an introduction. Yeah, we introduce them.
All right. But somebody is there to greet them, and you do have people with that little membership form, a booklet, so it's all ready to, nobody's wandering around, how do I join this club?
That's correct. Usually the person who invites them is always there, because usually they do the inviting, almost make a point of being there when they invite
They're
them.
responsible for that.
Yes.
Alan, what would you like to add before we wind this up? This has been a great story.
Yes, it's a great program. Our club loves challenges and stakes, so I'm sure we'll be able to reach our 75 goal.
And are you all on the same team or different teams?
Alan, I think we actually are on the same team.
Yes, we are. So we're going to win.
So you're going to be eating steak, is that right?
Yes.
Thank you both, Alan Kujala, the Lieutenant Governor, Division 11, and member of the Dover Club. Kenneth Hogan, the president of the Dover Kiwanis Club, for a great story and a great challenge, and I wish you well. For the Capital District Growth Team, this has been another Monday Morning Message. This is Jack White. Thank you for listening.